Hey guys, this is Kyle from InvestiShare. I'm going to quickly go over what an order block is, how you can identify them really quickly on your charts, because once you see them, you can't really unsee them. And we're going to go over how you can apply them to your trading. So let's talk about first what an order block is. So an order block, in the simplest terms, is basically a 2-candle pattern on your chart that represents the possibility of residual buy or sell orders. So it's basically a zone of interest where you can prepare for potential reversals. Okay, so what's nice about order blocks is you can basically write everything down in like 2 or 3 rules to fully understand like what an order block is. So rule number 1 is that it's 2 candles. So you're looking for 2 candles that look a lot like this. This is like a traditional order block example. The second rule is the first candle will always be the opposite color of the second candle. So if you're looking at a bullish order block, the first candle will always be red and the second candle will always be green. If you're looking at a bearish order block, the first candle will always be green and the second candle will always be red. Okay, the third rule, and basically the final rule, is that the second candle will engulf past the first candle. So if we're looking at this candle here, it engulfed past this one because it closed above this high. Same with this one. When we're looking at the bearish one, this candle here, the confirming candle, engulfed past this candle's low. So that's it. You basically got it. Now, how to map out the actual order block within this is pretty simple as well. So you're basically just looking at the very first candle, and you're going to be marking the high of that candle. So you look for the wick, the peak of this candle. You just draw a line like this. And then you're looking at the low side of the 2 candles. And what part is the lowest, right? And in this case, we have this part being the lowest. All right, so this is a wick-based order block. Now, there's such thing as a candle body-based order block, and all you're doing is just marking the body high and the body low. And that's it. And it's done. So now, once you have this mapped out, what I like to do for mapping these out is I will get a rectangle tool like this, mark the high, mark the low, and then I can just prepare for when price action returns back to it. So if we see, let's say all your rules are met, right? For me, this might be gibberish for you right now, but what I like to see have happen is a bullish change of character, right? So it'll look a little bit like this, like a double, let's see, we're going down a downtrend, like a bullish change of character, right? And then within this structure, I would hope for a order block to be in the lower side, right? And what I really like to see when I'm going to jump into a trade is a proper risk to reward ratio. If there's no proper risk to reward ratio, then you shouldn't be jumping into the trade, no matter what your rules are, right? If you have a super high win rate, then you can focus on like 1-to-1s, but whether you have a high win rate or not, you're likely going to prefer a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio or greater, because that means you're going to be trying to double what you're trying to risk. So again, I will be looking for like a change of character with my rules, price action to pull back, preferably into like a golden pocket like this, and have the confluence of an order block in that area. Because then I could just, because we already flipped bullish and we have a strong low here, I could just limit order in on that order block and have my stop loss right here at the strong low. Now, this is like picture perfect kind of conditions for a long, right? Especially if this is like at a value area low. You're not always going to get those picture perfect conditions, but this is like an A+ setup for me whenever I see something like that. You could always look at these as well for when price action returns to them, that you could expect a potential reaction off of it, right? So when price action returns back to this area, if I see a bullish change of character off it, then I'm likely going to take that too. All depends on the positioning. Like, where are we in the charts? Are we at like the bottom of a range? Are we at a top of a range? Because taking these at the top of a range isn't usually a good idea. But taking them at the bottom of a range, where there's a lot of buyer's interest, then it's usually a fantastic idea to look for a potential long off an order block. All right, let's go through a bearish scenario. So we have this one here. We're going to be marking the low of the first candle. Let's draw a little line. And we're going to be looking at the highest point between the two candles. Right? So it will be this candle right here. Now I could easily change this mock-up so that this candle is a little bit lower. And you can have it something like this too. Right? All depends on which point is the highest when you're looking at a bearish order block and which point is the lowest with a bullish order block. Right? And this is a wick-based order block. And again, I like to use like a rectangle tool, just marking it like this. So I'm ready for when price action like returns to this area. I'll usually change the color to red, so my bias is like bearish. It's good for psychology. And I'll be looking for a rejection here. And I could also say another scenario, a picture perfect scenario when using an order block like this could be, at a valley area high, we saw price action come up, an uptrend, and then we got like a bearish change of character, but maybe I don't like the risk to reward ratio again. So I'm looking for a pullback. Hopefully we have an order block here. It looks just like this. Maybe this is the peak point. And we're coming back to test that area, limit order in, right? Because we already had the bearish change of character. We've already flipped, or trend has already started to like go the opposite direction, right? Your trend's the friend to your end till it ends, and this is the point where the trend kind of begins, right? And we're beginning to trend to the downside at that point, right? So we flip bearish, got the change of character out of value area high, hitting an order block, preferably as well with like Fibonacci confluence, maybe a golden pocket 786 area. You can limit order in, stop loss at the strong high, watching the unclaimed low along the way, and then I usually target the opposite side of a valley area. Now, all of that might be gibberish to you, but the main focus here today is just knowing like you're using the order blocks in confluence. You're not just using order blocks for your trades. You can't use every single one. Not every order block is equal. And one thing that makes order blocks, in my opinion, stronger is ones that induce breaks of structure, ones that break key levels, ones that give us like a change of character, and then you're basically looking for the retracement to like tap them again. And there's this common misconception with order blocks that we have to go back to them. We definitely do not have to go back to them. Okay, so that's one thing you should know. Just because institution is a sign that institutions haven't fully unloaded or loaded up their inventory, it doesn't mean we have to go back to that area. But it does mean it is a potential area of interest that not only institutions are likely looking at, but also retail, people like you and I, are looking at this as an area of interest for potential longs or shorts, right? Longs for the bullish order blocks, shorts for the bearish ones. Now, to make your life easy mode, you can find a whole bunch, there's tons and tons of order block indicators out there that can make your life easier. But it's very important that you understand this part so you know when the indicator is lying to you, because not every indicator is perfect. One indicator that I'd recommend trying out is you can type up order blocks, multi-time frame order blocks with confluence, right? I know it's a mouthful, but basically, this one's by InvestiShare. You click on this, and it was going to map out them all for you, right? It'll tell you when they're mitigated, when price action taps it, right? These are like plates of armor that are relatively weak. So once they get hit by a sword once, they're used. They shouldn't be used treated the same way as they were before. Doesn't mean it might not be an area of interest anymore, but once an order block has been tapped by price action, and when I mean tapped, I just mean like a little wick, just touching the price action. Just touching the order block, and it's kind of game over for it. Now, just like a lot of things in trading, the larger the time frame, the stronger it is. So if you are seeing an order block on the 4-hour time frame is going to be stronger than one that you'll see on the hourly time frame. If you see one on like the 15-minute, it's definitely going to be stronger than the one that you'll see on like the 1 or 2 or 3-minute. The cool part about this indicator is that it shows order blocks on 6 different time frames at the same time. So if you scroll down under the input section of it, you can mark which time frames you prefer to focus on. So if you want to look at like the 15-minute, then great. The 30-minute, the hourly, the 4-hour, and also show whatever ones are currently on your screen during the time frame that you're looking at. It'll automatically sync to that with this button as well. And you can click and unclick that here. Alrighty. You can, adjust the order block color to any color you want. You can also set it up so then this is a whole lesson, separate lesson altogether, but you can also choose filters where it has order blocks created with confluence. So like an order block created with the fair value gap, or an order block created right after a liquidity sweep. So basically maybe the order block was created right after sweeping a recent high or a recent low. And then the sweep look back is based on like how many candles do you want to look back within the time frame that you're looking at, right? You can include order blocks with wicks, order blocks with body only, and all that fun stuff. So here you can see, for example, we have some already mapped out. So you got an hourly order block here on your screen. So when price action potentially returns to this area, we can prepare for maybe a bounce, whatever. You want to make sure this is like one of many rules, right? So if this maybe was coming down to like a golden pocket from this impulse move, right? We can see that's like 2 rules met right there. If price action were to come down to this area, we can expect a potential reaction off here, right? It doesn't mean just ape in on a long, but if this is the only 2 rules you need for your strategy and it works for you, make sure you backtest that, then great. So I'd expect maybe price action to come down, keep hitting its head on this downtrending momentum from the sell pressure. Maybe there's a sell wall following this trend line, keeping the price action down, suppressing it until eventually we meet this confluence, get the bullish change of character, and you can enter on the change of character. Or if there's already a bullish change of character that recently happened, like the scenario that I told you about before, and maybe we can just limit order in on something like that. I wouldn't limit order in on this scenario, but I would like to look at this location as an area of interest. Let's say you're in a short position, right? Let's say you jumped into short up here. You can watch this as a potential barrier. So if you see that bullish kind of reaction, that could tell you maybe you should take some profits, right? You can look at order blocks as areas of confluence for entries and areas of concern when you're in existing positions, right? Just like if price action were to break to the upside and we break this momentum, we start coming up. We have a 15-minute order block here that we can worry about. And we see a bearish change of character right after tapping that, then that could warn you maybe you should take some off the table. Guys, that is order blocks. Me personally, I love to see them at value area highs, value area lows. I like to see them after a bullish change of character. I like to retest them, prepare for an entry off of them that way. There's lots of different ways, different forms of confluences you can use them. But I prefer the positioning of them being at a value area high or value area low. I'll use the fixed range volume profile like this, right? And I'll look for like an order block either on the upper side of this value area. Look for the bearish order blocks and like bullish order blocks on the bottom side of the value area, and then prepare for potential longs off of them or shorts off of them. All right, guys, if you have any more questions about order blocks, you can reach out to me in the Discord. We have a Discord that helps you guys learn about stuff like this all the time. We have calls every single day where we talk about any questions that you have. It's an open mic kind of Zoom chat that we do together. We do trade hunting calls. We do masterclass calls every single day. So if you need any help with anything, just reach out to me in Discord. You have yourself an amazing day, and I hope this helps you understanding on order blocks.